And about your portfolio, so you had 4 projects, right?
Yeah.
So what were they about?
The first project was something I was really passionate about. So the first project was a mouse. I called it the Morpheus mouse. My portfolio is very weird. It had a lot of Marvel reference. It had a lot of Matrix reference because that's what I like. That's what it's
Hmm.
part of me. But I use that to like explain a lot of things, so it's understandable by the common person. So basically, my first project was a mouse, which so we have various grip styles for mouse when we're gaming.
Yeah.
And there's always an ongoing debate, which is a good grip style, claw, fingertip, palm. And so I was like, why can't a mouse have all grip styles? Like,
Hmm.
what would you need to do? You need to have the switches adjustable. You need to have, let's say, there's a mouse like here. You need to have the back side of the panel, the place where your palm rests on, that needs to change. Okay, I can come up with a concept for this. I came up with a concept that then like, hey, what else can I add? So the MVP, I made it using the sunboard and like clay for this particular project. By the way, like for prototypes, I figured this out. Sunboard and like that 743, that glue, is perfect. It's
Yeah.
just the best.
Yeah.
When anyone who doesn't have access to a 3D printer, that's the greatest thing ever.
Does wonders, huh?
Yeah, that was my project. A lot of this was I had also 3D printed a mouse initially to test out components. So I bought a mouse, took it apart, took the sensors, put it in a 3D printed body, like just to see how it works. So that was nice. There's a lot of stuff available on the internet, so I was just utilizing all that. Yeah, once I had something, since the 3D printing process was really expensive,
Hmm.
it's like, okay, let me switch to another material. So then I started experimenting with other materials, which can sort of make a prototype. But like, yeah, so I use magnets
Hmm.
and I use sunboard and like 743 and clay to
Hmm.
make a mouse that works, that has like proper switches. That was my first project. My second project was a switchboard, which I had come up with a concept for when I had given NID the first time because I
Okay.
didn't know the process. So I thought I will get in.
Hmm.
Yeah. And my NID paper went really nice that time. Or
Hmm.
so I thought. I made a switchboard that eliminates confusion. So when you come inside a house
Yeah.
and you're like, uh, it's just common day problem. Like my cousin comes in and I tell them, can you turn on the bada wala tube light? They're like, which one is it? They all look alike, right?
Yeah.
And that's an interesting prompt. Like, how can you make? So I actually made something around that. That was switchboard. It's called the dial switch. The third and fourth project were third project was they were digital. So
Hmm.
third project was Cubic Move was the fourth. So I can talk about my fourth project. Oh,
Okay.
third Cuba one. So
Okay.
there was this UX course that was happening Google ka,
Hmm.
and on that UX course there was this one prompt. So there's this one section of the course where they give you a prompt. You have to just come up with some app concepts. That prompt you can choose. It's like a random prompt generator.
Hmm.
Just click, click, click. I came up with a prompt, design an app for a dog NGO. I'm like, okay. I went to a dog NGO. Like
Hmm.
all you have to do is come up with a concept. I actually went to the NGO. I'm like, what's the worst that could happen? They're gonna
Yeah.
tell me. I went to the dog NGO. I'm like, listen, I'll make an app for you that'll help you with the adoption of the dog and stuff.
Right.
And this was me diving into all UX directly.
Hmm.
So it was very overwhelming because they're like, we don't want adoption app for NGO.
Yeah.
I'm like, फिर क्या चाहिए? कहता है, this is our problem. So then I started to sit down with them. So I started making visits.
Yeah.
To make a visit with them, they need cardboard and they need newspaper. So I would collect cardboard from people.
Hmm.
I would go, hey, I've come to give you cardboard. By the way, for the thing I was talking about, what are your thoughts on this? Like, I would just slip it into conversations. And that's how I was like, slowly it became a thing where I was actually doing the whole UX thing. It was quite hectic, but I was enjoying it. Like, there are certain things which it's really hectic, but you can do it.
Yeah.
That's you. And for me. So I
Yeah.
was like, I can do it. And I was doing it. And I started making this thing, and that was the app. It was more of internal organization thing that they
Hmm.
needed because they had limited slots
Hmm.
and all sorts of things. So that was an app for that. And the last app was a very old project, and it has a funny story for that. But the idea was ki me and my friends wanted to go for a trip to Bombay,
Okay.
right? Back in engineering,
Mm.
but they were not getting permission from their house. So I told them ki if I get you guys into a competition, we get
uh,
you guys come.
mm.
So IIT Bombay was hosting this competition
Okay.
test,
Okay.
and usme there was this competition, Earth Matters. You can come up with a concept or something. I'm like, just give me your names. I'll take part. I'll
Mm.
get in, and I actually got in.
Oh,
And then I told them कि देखो अब trip तो हो रहा है. Like now we have to go on the trip. So just tell your parents the competition is on the first day. The results are on the last day. So we had the 7 day for the trip, and we just went there.
wow.
We didn't take part. We didn't. We came fifth.
uh,
We were the top team selected amongst the top 15 all India.
that's nice.
But when we went there, of course, they were like better students. Like they've been working on for like so
Of
long. So
course.
we
Of
came
course.
fifth. They were like very good prototypes. But when I went there, that's sort of like, I know somewhere deep down inside, I was like, we could have won this.
Yeah.
This was amazing. If we would have taken it a little bit more seriously.
Mm.
But then the trip was nice. So it sort of compensated. I
Oh.
think that was my fourth project. It was just a app that connects NGOs with people
Mm.
to facilitate, work, participatory work in a different way.
Mm.
So that was what it was about. But yeah,
That's amazing. Quite different kind of projects, different use cases, different user scenarios, and different target users as well in each of the things. So I think it's really interesting the way you've explored and the way you've even leveraged old ideas in
yeah,
a new way with a better understanding of what you have about design now.
yeah,
And for that also, of course, you had to check कि हाँ ये भी viable है या नहीं है.
yeah,
Of course you had to go through that process, but it's really nice to see that you had it all along the way. है ना, मतलब पहले भी engineering में भी there was some hint that was there.
yeah.
Yeah, this is something that might interest you.
True,
You know,
true.
everything fell into place.
Yeah, yeah.
Sort of all the dots connected.
It was really funny because I did not know about designers. It came to me in parts, right?
Yeah.
There was one elective that I had taken,
Mm,
design thinking. I did not know about it. It was the
right.
close subject to a non-engineering thing. And not that I hated engineering, it was like really fun.
Mm,
But I wanted something different. There was no photography and something. So I was like, let me take this up.
right.
And the teacher told me about this course called there's
Huh.
this, there's masters in design. I'm like, there is masters in design. I like, yeah, you can do it after. She casually slipped in conversation, and that's what got me into seeing M.Des hota hai. Oh, iska exam hota hai.
Right.
Oh, like, there's a whole new world out there I did not know about.
Mm.
So that was pretty nice.
That's nice.